Nobody knows who she is. Nobody knows where she came from. Nobody knows why she did it. A woman nobody knows went up to the statue of Nelson Mandela in full view of the public. She retreated further into anonymity. She has become less than the sum of her body parts. Whatever her motives, this unknown African lady Godiva has exposed body prejudices as well as archaic attitudes towards women, the ownership of women's sexuality, and the ownership of their very selves. In August 2014, a group of young women came together to protest against the issues of violence and to express themselves over the political economy of their bodies.
In 10 minutes' time, I guess taking off my clothes.
Is there something called in between nervous and excited? Because I'm very nervous, yet I'm excited that I'm here to do it because it's something that I really want to do.
I've always wanted to do something similar to this, something that celebrates the female form, something that celebrates the female form, whether you're skinny, whether you're short, whether you're tall, whether you're black, white, or whatever. So I thought it was relevant for me to do it now because, like, after I gave birth to my son, I gained a lot of weight and I started having self-confidence issues.
At first, I didn't think I was going to do it, not because I thought it was taboo, no, but I just didn't think I'd be interested in it. But then after I had this second thought, I thought, yeah, I want to do this. It's daring.
We live in a very primitive times and where women basically are very judged, and most women die without sharing stories and don't tell each other what really happens.
You know, with us, we always think that I have to lose weight first. I have to get my hips a little bit closer. I have to get my tummy in. So when it happens, the timing is you always set it up, the timing. But as much as I haven't done anything to shape my body up or something, this is the true reflection of me.
I saw a picture of one of my ex-classmates on Twitter. It was a beautiful picture. She's a plus-sized lady. So she had, there was something covering her, and she was showing her legs and just a little bit of skin, but it was sexy.
If a big boned woman can do it, and there's another sitting in the corner being bullied by society and other forms of media because they think that just because you have this big body, you can't be sexy, you can't be celebrated, you can't be appreciated, because even us, we have in our close spaces that when a woman is in a certain shape, as women, we make fun of that woman, knowing very much that how it feels. So it's a platform for everyone. It's therapeutic, not only for those who are doing it, it's also for that one who's sitting in that dark corner to come out and shine.
I can't really say I am in support of it or that I'm not. I'd say I'm in between, because if you choose to do something as brave as this, then I mean, it's really up to the person, the individual, to each his own, I say. But personally, I don't think I'd ever do something it's big.
As for us, black women, looking voluptuous and well-fed, it means you're healthy. So I would say those are the two differences between us. Now, I will not even talk about how westernization has an influence on both races. Because now when we obviously link westernization with body image, we are all on the same scale. Because when you look at Western culture, it tells us that you need to be skinny, you need to look this way. And it doesn't say if you're black or white, if you're whatever. Every woman needs to look like this.
It was beautiful to see a plus-sized woman showing off her body in a confident manner, and that spoke to me because I've had issues with my body for the longest time. I've lost weight, I've gained, so I've always felt I'm not good enough.
You're fat, you have to be thin, you have to be like this to be a woman, to be good enough. But that is not like that. You created that way, you have the body shape that you have to appreciate that body shape, because if we were all the same, believe me, the world would be something that is not awesome to live in.
I think by comparing yourself to other people, you are diminishing your value, what you can bring to the table as a person, because we're all unique, we all have unique skills and talents. One artist may perceive or portray a painting differently than the next artist. So I just feel like you are diminishing your self-worth when you start comparing yourself to other people.
We have a bunch of young women who are here bearing naked, showing us and telling us their stories of what's happened to them, and that the next person doesn't have to suffer in pain. They can know that they can relate to other women, and they know that they aren't going through this alone.
Even though I do have many insecurities, that I should at least try and help other women out that are going through similar situations. I mean, they will read my story, and maybe I could touch one of them.
Stripped bare, those young ladies expose more than just themselves. They are exposing their inner selves as they voice protest against violence against women in South Africa.
You know, you smile, that is a mask, because you smile. No one knows how it feels. No one knows what you've been through with your body.
I've been through a very rough patch in my life. I was gang raped, and I was raped twice before that. So for me, this was a way of liberating myself. This was my middle finger to the world, basically, and my way of trying to step away from the victim mentality and to basically tell people that I am beautiful the way I am, stretch marks and everything. I still think I'm beautiful, and I think, if anything, the posing has actually made me stronger. It has made me appreciate my body the way that it is, because it's the only body I will ever have. I will never ever have another body.
I was raped by a boyfriend over probably the course of 3-4 months, and it killed me. It really did.
South Africa has one of the highest incidences of violence crime in the world, with reported rapes averaging around 65,000 incidents per annum.
The justice system does not protect women at all, because, well, from my experience, when I went to report an incident where I was abused by a stranger, so I went to report the incident, and the first question that I was asked was, what was I wearing? And I think that's bullshit.
If the same people that we go to for help tell us that it is probably the way we are wearing our clothing, or it is probably what we are wearing is the cause of why we get raped. And instead of them helping us and trying to solve the issue, they just make it worse for you and add more pain to what you're already feeling, inflicting it, and just rubbing salt in your wound. So I don't really feel safe. Sometimes that's why I think other women just keep quiet and not tell anyone.
Liberation and women in South Africa is, for me, it's a foreign idea. It doesn't exist.
And the police themselves, I mean, they also, abuse women, because that question was totally out of order. That was abuse on its own, because she asked me to walk and turn around so she could see the condition of my jeans. She wanted to see if it was tight, or if it had those, those cuts that you make on your jeans. And so I did turn around, and she looked, And then she said, no, your jeans were too tight. So probably that's why it happened.
The police, they don't take it seriously as well. They are gonna ask you, what were you wearing? What time were you walking? Where were you walking?
If a man can rape you while you were 7 years old, what way were you wearing? Because I was raped when I was 7 years old, and I was wearing normal clothes, children's clothes. So it's you don't have to wear a certain way for you to be raped.
Patriarchal attitudes towards women, rape, and the rights of men to speak on behalf of women manifests itself in many ways, as was evident when Justice Minister Michael Masuta walked out of an ENCA television interview on rape.
You know, when you pass through pass across the taxi drivers, the things that they say to you, first of all, they touch you without your permission. That is not a good thing. And when you look at the person with an angry face, they'll be like, no, you invited that for yourself, because the way you're wearing, you're inviting them to touch you. And when you cross by, they always say that, look at you, you are naked. What do you want us to do as men?
I don't think I warranty anything for them to come up and touch me. It would usually be like a smack on your backside as you walk past.
I was wearing a short dress, and this guy, he comes to me. He says, you know, you don't have to go through that. At first I was like, what is this guy talking about? He was, I don't know, I think he was Nigerian or something, but he's not South African. He said, you know, my sister, you don't have to dress like that. You don't have to do that to yourself. God is there. I was like, what is this guy talking about?
I don't think any guy has a right to act on what they see. Regardless of what a woman is wearing, they do not have, you don't, like, no one has a right to do that. Because, I mean, you can't do something that a person is not comfortable with. Imagine now someone coming and touching me, and I don't know this person. Even if I knew that person, no one has a right to do that, especially without my consent. So I say that a woman can dress whatever way she wants to, and it shouldn't be a problem to the opposite sex. They should be able to control themselves. They can look, because people look, even females will look at other females.
I don't wear shorts outside home. I don't wear short dresses outside home. The only time you'd see me wearing those is if I'm home. I would never, and it's even something my mother has taught me, that I just don't wear short things in public. I don't.
In fact, I think we need projects like this, in the sense, so that we could debate our insecurities, in the sense. In fact, it's an empowerment tool, even for those, in the sense, who saw themselves differently and thought that, okay, fine, they were less deserving of beautiful things, or they see themselves in the sense in an inferior manner. So it's great for debate purposes. We need, like, at this day and age, you should be talking freely about these things.
So here they are, the African Muses, in all their beauty, declaring womanhood, but also reaffirming their humanity. Their roles as African Muses, inspirational and unwavering, standing tall in the face of a fierce onslaught against women in South Africa.
Shoot is done. The curtains have gone up. We are so
excited for you guys to see the images.
You missed out.
Of our wild side.
Exactly.